Have you ever heard that quiet whisper inside? The one that asks a question loud enough to shake your soul. What if I am more than this? Not more in ego, not more in comparison, but more in potential, more in capability, more in strength, more in destiny. In that moment you stand at the edge of your old self, staring into the horizon of who you could become. That moment is the birthplace of unshakable confidence, not the loud, bragging kind. The kind forged in fire and built, constructed like a cathedral of discipline and self-respect. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. The sooner you understand that confidence isn't a trait but a lifestyle, the sooner your entire world begins to change. Look back through history and you'll see the same pattern again and again. Thomas Edison wasn't confident because he was gifted. His confidence came from the 10,000 times he refused to be defeated. Henry Ford didn't create an empire because he had certainty. He created certainty by acting in the absence of it. Walt Disney didn't build a dream because he had belief. He built belief by daring to draw the dream before anyone else could even imagine it. These giants of history weren't superhuman. They were simply unwilling to let fear write the script of their lives. They understood something most people overlook. Confidence is not the absence of doubt. Is the mastery of doubt. You become confident when you stop waiting for permission. You become confident when you stop negotiating with fear. You become confident when you realize the person you are today is only the starting point, not the final verdict. The world trains us to believe confidence is something you feel, but the truth is far more powerful. Confidence is something you do. Confidence is behavior, action, movement, momentum. You don't need to feel confident to take the first step. You take the first step to become confident. Every single person you admire, every giant of industry, every athlete who rose from nothing, every leader who shaped history, they all began the same way. Hesitant, unsure, trembling inside. They didn't walk into greatness with certainty. They built certainty through repetition, through devotion, through choosing progress over perfection. The first step to unshakable confidence is understanding that belief is not a requirement, it's a result. A result of showing up, a result of keeping promises to yourself, a result of doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has faded. Confidence is self-trust, and self-trust is built the same way any trust is built. Consistency over time. It's the small, daily deposits of integrity that accumulate into a fortune of self-belief. But confidence also demands something deeper. Clarity. Most people can't build confidence because they don't know what they're building it for. Their days are blurred. Their goals are foggy. Their vision is a vague hope rather than a defined destination. But clarity sharpens the soul. When you know exactly what you want, your mind stops fighting you and starts focusing you. It aligns your energy and directs your actions. Clarity is the architect. Discipline is the builder. Confidence is the structure. And once you taste that alignment, when your purpose, your actions, and your identity fall into harmony, you become powerful. People feel something different around you. Not arrogance, not noise, but a quiet certainty built from intentional living. They feel your focus. They sense your direction. The great mistake is believing that confidence rises from success. No, success rises from confidence. The moment you decide to take yourself seriously, the moment you decide that your dreams deserve effort, the moment you decide that your future deserves discipline, success becomes inevitable because your decisions become intentional. You stop drifting and start steering. You stop reacting and start creating. Your life becomes a masterpiece of your own design. Confidence demands that you stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Lighthouses don't wait for calm. Skies, they exist for the storms, and your confidence will grow the same way. In the storm, in the tension, in the moments when everything in you wants to retreat, but something deeper pulls you forward. When you honor that pull, when you face the challenge instead of fleeing from it, you begin to transform. Each storm you weather doesn't just test your foundation, it strengthens it. Confidence is also a conversation with yourself, a conversation shaped by the words you speak, the thoughts you allow, and the meaning you assign to your failures. If you treat failure as final, your confidence dies. It becomes a scar that reminds you not to try again. But if you treat failure as feedback, your confidence multiplies. It becomes a lesson that guides your next attempt. Edison didn't have failures. He had data. Abraham Lincoln didn't have defeats, he had chapters in his story. Andrew Carnegie didn't have setbacks, he had stepping stones in Sudoku. The moment you redefine what failure means, you release yourself from the chains of hesitation. You see every attempt not as a risk of loss, but as an opportunity for growth. Confidence grows when the fear of regret becomes greater than the fear of trying. Think about it. What will you regret more in 10 years? The thing you tried that didn't work out, or the thing you were too afraid to even attempt? The answer is almost always the latter. And confidence deepens when you refuse to shrink yourself to fit the expectations of others. It grows when you stop auditioning for the approval of people who aren't even courageous enough to chase their own dreams. Why would you take criticism from someone who isn't even in the arena? It grows when you choose to be loyal to your future instead of being addicted to your past. True confidence isn't loud. It isn't aggressive. It doesn't need to announce itself. Confidence is quiet determination. Confidence is showing up when you don't feel like it. Confidence is staying in the fight one more round. Confidence is rising again and again and again, no matter how many times you get knocked down. It is the calm, unwavering voice within that says, I was built for this. Even when the world says otherwise, even when your own doubts scream at you, this is where the real transformation begins, not in the world outside you, but in the world within. It starts with that single, soul-shaking question. What if I am more than this? And it's answered not with a word, but with action. By building your confidence, brick by brick, you're not just changing how you see yourself, you're changing what's possible for your life. You're building the foundation for the future you truly deserve. So start today. Take one small step. Keep one small promise to yourself. Face one small fear. That is how you begin. That is how you build a life of unshakable confidence. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more content to help you build your best self.